Good morning, students. We will talk about anatomy of pharynx in this lecture. We have already talked about anatomy of nasal cavity, physiology of nose, and different diseases affecting nose in previous lectures. From now onwards, we will talk about anatomy, physiology, and different diseases affecting pharynx and structures related to it. Pharynx is a conical fibromuscular tube which is extending from the base of skull to the lower border of the cricoid cartilage. So it is made up of fibrous and muscular, that is the muscle tissue. So pharynx is a fibromuscular tube which is conical in nature, conical in shape. The length of this tube is 12 to 14 centimeter in size, but width at the level of skull base, that is the most anterior part of this tube, is 3.5 centimeter at the base to 1.5 centimeter at the apex, that is the most inferior part. So that it is a conical in nature. Most inferior part, which is 1.5 centimeter, is at the pharyngoesophageal junction, and most wide part of 3.5 centimeter is at the base of skull. It is made up of mainly 4 layers. Most inner layer is of mucous membrane, which we can see from opening the mouth, and we can see the reddish color mucous membrane. Followed by there is pharyngeal aponeurosis, also known as pharyngobasilar fascia. Third layer is made up of muscle tissue, which is main layer. It has 2 parts, external layer and internal layer of muscle. External layer is made up of superior, middle and inferior constrictor muscles. Internal layer is made up of stylopharyngeus, salpingopharyngeus and palatopharyngeus muscle. Last, most lateral fibrous layer is made up of buccopharyngeal fascia. So this is a diagrammatic representation of a conical fibromuscular tube called pharynx. This is the most superior attachment over the base of skull. This is the most interior part, that is the mucous membrane, followed by pharyngobasilar fascia, followed by muscular layer, and followed by last one is the 4th layer, that is the buccopharyngeal fascia. This pharynx is usually pierced by different structures, mainly is the ascension tube, ascending pharyngeal artery, and 2 muscles which we will talk about in later slides. Killian's dehiscence, that is a gap between the thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus parts of the inferior constrictor muscle. Inferior constrictor muscle is the most inferiorly located muscle in the pharynx tube, but it is made up of 2 parts, thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus. But due to the repeated increase in pressure over the oropharynx and hypopharynx, there is some pharyngeal mucosa which is present here internally. It will come out from the gap between this thyropharyngeus and cricopharyngeus, which is known as Killian's dehiscence. So this pharyngeal mucosa will come out from here and form the pharyngeal pouch. So this is the most important part of the Killian's dehiscence. Whenever patient develops pharyngeal pouch, patient will have some food that is stuck into this pharyngeal pouch. Patient will develop discomfort in throat and occasionally dysphagia also. So this Killian's dehiscence and developed pharyngeal pouch should be ruled out in a patient with the throat discomfort and dysphagia. Waldeyer's ring. This is a lymphoid tissue surrounding throughout the nasopharyngeal area and pharyngeal area, which are present in the submucosal area or subepithelial layer. Nasopharyngeal tonsils, which are known as adenoid, situated in the nasopharynx. Palatine tonsil, lingual tonsil, which are situated in the oropharynx. Tubal tonsils, which are situated in the close vicinity of the ascension tube, and also so that known as tubal tonsil. They are in the fossa of Rosenmuller, that we will see in nasopharynx. Lateral pharyngeal bands, which are connecting this different tonsil area present in the nasopharynx and oropharynx, and submucosal lymphatic nodules, which are present in the posterior pharyngeal wall. These nodules we can see in oropharynx area on opening the mouth in a patient of chronic granular pharyngitis. This Baldayer's rings and its substances helps in local immunity and defense mechanism of pharyngeal cavity. Here you can see that this nasopharyngeal adenoid, palatine and lingual tonsils and this lateral pharyngeal bands and tubal tonsil will form a ring, and this ring is known as Baldayer's ring. So these Baldayer's rings help in formation and maturation of different type of T and B cells and help in local immune and defense mechanism. Pharyngeal spaces. There are mainly two pharyngeal spaces that need to be remember. First is the retropharyngeal space and second is the parapharyngeal space. Retropharyngeal space extends from the base of skull to the bifurcation of trachea and which is posterior to the posterior pharyngeal wall. Parapharyngeal space is situated over the lateral part of the pharynx and contains carotid vessels, jugular vein, last four cranial nerves and cervical sympathetic chain. We will talk about these spaces in future lectures. Division of pharynx. Pharynx is usually divided into three parts. First is the nasopharynx, middle one is the oropharynx and third one is the hypopharynx or laryngopharynx. Nasopharynx is situated from base of skull or base occiput and base sphenoid to the level of soft palate. Oropharynx is situated from the level of hard palate and soft palate to the hyoid bone, and hypopharynx is situated from the level of hyoid bone to the lower border of the cricoid cartilage. Nasopharynx, that is also known as epipharynx, it is situated most superiorly. Roof is made up of base sphenoid and base occiput. Here posterior wall is made up of the atlas vertebra, arch of atlas vertebra. Floor is made up of soft palate anteriorly and hard palate, part of hard palate. This floor is dehiscent posteriorly and it will connect into the oropharynx. Anterior wall is made up of posterior choana. On lateral part of nasopharynx, there are different structures present. First is the pharyngeal opening of the eustachian tube. Eustachian tube, medial end of eustachian tube opens into the nasopharynx on both sides, and lateral opening of eustachian tube is present in the middle ear. Torus tuberis is the elevation due to the cartilaginous part of the eustachian tube in the nasopharynx over lateral area. Fossa of Rosenmuller is present just posterior and above and behind, that is the posterior to this torus tuberis, that is the tubal elevation. It is the commonest site for origin of the nasopharyngeal carcinoma. You have to remember the commonest site for origin of the nasopharyngeal carcinoma, that is the fossa of Rosenmuller, which is present in the nasopharynx. In this nasal endoscopic diagram, you can see that this is the posterior part of the septum or posterior choana, which is forming the anterior wall of this nasopharynx. This is overall is the nasopharyngeal area, and this is the lateral part. Here you can see the medial end of opening of the eustachian tube, and there is elevation which is known as torus tuberis. There is a recess just behind, that is the posterior and superior or above to this torus tuberis, that is known as fossa of Rosenmuller, and this is a common site for nasopharyngeal carcinoma. This is the floor or the soft palate. Nasopharyngeal tonsils, or also known as adenoid, which are lymphoid structure, they are situated at the junction of the roof over here and the posterior part of nasopharynx. So adenoid are situated over the roof and posterior part of this nasopharynx at the junction of these both boundaries. Adenoid usually increase to the size up to the maximum size of this up to the 6 years of age, and their atrophies or decrease in size. Nasopharyngeal, that is a epithelial line median recess found within the adenoid masses. It represents the attachment of the notochord, and sometimes there is a or mucus collection is present in this bursa, and it has Thornwald cyst or Thornwald disease. Rathke's pouch, that is a dimple just above the adenoid. It is a reminiscent of the mucosa invagination, and it forms the anterior lobe of pituitary gland. Sometimes a tube named as craniopharyngioma may arise from this Rathke's pouch. Sinus of Morgagni, it is a space at the base of skull and free border of superior constrictor muscle, and it enters the ischiation tube, levator veli palatini, tensor veli palatini, and ascending palatine tree, which is a branch of facial tree. We have previously seen in the anatomy of pharynx that some, mainly the ischiation and the muscle composed of ischiation tube usually passes through and through into the pharynx and pharyngeal musculature. They usually pass from sinus of Morgagni, which is a dehiscent part between the basal and upper border of this superior muscle. This is the dehiscent part which is known as sinus ischiation tube, veli palatini, levator veli palatini, and ascending palatine artery will pass from this opening or sinus. Rathke is situated just anteriorly, and in bursa they are situated adenoid area. Paswan's ridge, it is a ridge raised by the fibers of pharyngeus muscle. It encircles the posterior and lateral wall of nasopharyngeal isthmus and form the nasopharyngeal isthmus. During the deglutition of speech, it comes in with this ridge to cut the nasopharynx of the oropharynx. Usually, pharyngeus muscle forms a ridge at the just posterior part over the pharynx, just opposite to the soft palate area, and that is known as Paswan's ridge. This Paswan ridge and comes in contact with the soft palate during the phase of deglutination. So a form into this oral will directly go oropharynx and hypopharynx and go upwards. So this pharyngeus muscle palate Paswan's ridge helps in cutting this pharynx from oropharynx and helps in the food passage. Functions of the nasopharynx. It is a conduit or passage for humidified air to the larynx. It lets the middle ear through the ischiation tube opening, which is present in the lateral wall of nasopharynx. During swallowing, speech, vomiting and gagging, Paswan's ridge helps to cut the nasopharynx from the oropharynx so that our food bolus or liquid material will not go into the nasopharynx. Due to the soft palate palsy, sometimes patient can develop water and food coming into the nasal cavity from the oral cavity. Nasopharynx acts as a resonating chamber and helps in formation or some vocal sounds. So whenever a patient has a nasopharyngeal palsy or soft palate palsy or a mass nasopharynx, develop the rhinolalia clausa or type of drainage channel for and pass into the nasopharyngeal glands. I have seen the physiology of nose and nasal cavity chapters that mucus form into the nasal cavity usually go 5 to 10 millimeter per hour speed, and it will directly go into the nasopharynx, and from nasopharynx it will directly go into the oropharynx and our stomach. It is the middle part of the pharynx. It extends hard palate and soft palate plane to the plane of below. Made up of retropharyngeal space or posterior pharyngeal wall opposite to the C2 and C3 vertebra, and below it is formed by the base of tongue deficient above is because of oral cavity deficiency present, that is because of oral cavity air, and below base of tongue, lingual tonsils, this the cup shape between the base of tongue and apical wall is made up of palatine tonsil, as we see on opening the oral cavity, and which is made of osseous muscle, and which is made up of palatopharynx. In this diagram you can see that on opening the mouth we can see this, and this is the posterior and forming the posterior. This is the which is formed by the palato muscle, also arch. This is the posterior pillar, also known as arch, made up of muscle which is between them and this. And this is the hard palate which is forming the roof of the oropharynx. Posterior part of the tongue which is forming the between this circumvallate papilla. Some papilla are the wall of oropharynx, and so in pharyngeal phase of deglutination and send bolus, food bolus into the hypopharynx area. It forms the part of the vocal tract for certain sounds and helps in resonance. Also helps in appreciation of taste by the papilla which are present over the base of tongue, vallecula, epiglottis, and over both lateral side of oropharynx. This lymphoid in the wider also present in the like lingual tonsil and palatine tonsil, helps in providing defense and immunity by maturation of B and T cells and also production of those cells. Or this is the most inferior part and third part of the pharynx. It is lies C3 to C6 vertebra. There are three main parts of the hypopharynx, mainly the region and wall. Pharynx is the lowest part of this hypopharynx is plain hyoid bone. So this body of the oropharynx, this body of hyoid will form the roof of the hypopharynx. The most inferior lower border of the cricoid cartilage. So this is from the hypopharynx. Now here in this endoscopic diagram you can see that this is both mid, this is the anterior posterior part. These are the bilateral arytenoid which helps in formation of layer. Now the medial area or the hypopharynx, that is the post pyriform fossa. Here effect or curve shaped depression over the most lateral part, and behind the area is the and this is the esophageal. This hypopharynx posterior pharyngeal wall. So these are the